Oh, eventually will be this. Eventually they'll be the same. Yeah, okay. So, you can see this thing's really long. I'm gonna have to cut it down. All right. Don't know if the battery's still got a charge. I haven't ran it all winter, really. Let's see what we got going on, huh? Yeah, it looks like we got a charge. Gotta grease this next summer. Or this summer. There. So I need to measure this. It needs to be, see, I got too much slope. I think I need to go with a block under there that's about a 3/4 inch instead of a 1 inch. See if the battery's still got a charge on this, just like the tractor, hopefully. Okay, so I want to make 4 of these. I'll at least get 3 out of this. I might even get all 4. And then I'll have to still make one more. I have one more window, but it's a different size because I don't have a big glass for it, so it's going to be 2 small ones. I will be cutting glass for a few of the windows. So I haven't done that for years, so we'll see how that works out. I think this side will be a little off because of the last cut that was fouled up. Let's take a look here. 1 1/4. No, right on the money. 1 inch and 1 1/4. That one's about the most perfect one I've done yet. All right, so you know I'm working on this piece right here. So I'm going to do this piece next. These are 2 separate ones, which I'll have to cut the ones I did yesterday to do that, because I have pieces that, it's 2 separate windows is what it is. So what I've got is I got a big window here and then I got a smaller window here. But anyway, that being said, I need to make this piece next. So I've got a piece of wood over here that's a little bit thicker, so I can plane it down nice and smoothly. This is Douglas fir, not pine, but that's okay. It'll work just fine for that area because that's totally hidden. That's at the back of the window in an area that it'll have trim covering it, so you really won't see it, I don't think. Anyhow, this piece should be enough that I can get 4 or 5 pieces out of it. If I can get 5, I'll do 5 of them. What do I have? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, I want 5 because I got 5 bottom pieces here. So do that. Then I'll start doing the 1/2 inch trim next, and that'll be everything for the bottom. Then I got to move on to the other sections, and the sections are going to get harder and harder to deal with. And I have a lot to deal with when it comes time to working with this thing, because it's actually got some raised cuts here that I'm not going to worry about right now. I'm just going to put it together without some of this stuff being done. Yeah, it's just, there's 2 levels. It's stair stepped. You got 3, just basically like steps here. 1, 2, 3. Mine's just all one smooth piece. If I have to, I can do a beveled cut here and change it if I have to. We'll cross that bridge when I come to it and make these work out. You know, there's going to be different changes. It's not going to be exactly like it was. And it's hard to tell what it was because it's so rotted. But definitely can see this is all one piece. So I'll go ahead and get this one done next. And then I'm going to leave it a little oversized. Everything is going to get massaged into shape as I start building. And I don't even know what order the stuff goes in when I start assembling it. I'll have to see if I can figure out the order as I'm putting it back together, or if I take one apart, another one apart. As I take it apart, I'll break it down more into pieces than I did this one. I left this one pretty complete so that I could work with it not falling apart. But when it comes to breaking them apart later individually, just to see how it comes apart in reverse order, then I can put it back together accordingly. So we'll see what I can get done. If I can get all of the materials cut this month, next month, I'll start working on the assembly, and we'll see where I can go with that. So yeah, we'll keep working with that. So anyways, I'll bring you inside. We're going to start by cutting this down to length first, and then making our pieces. Let's see here. Yeah, that should work. There we go. Now, clean up both these sides, then I can start working with them. Take a look at that. I think that'll work out okay. Yeah, it's planeable. It's just due to it. Well, just so you can see, this is how I power my stuff in here with these two little guys. Of course, I've got to charge them up a little later. Right now, they're getting about 65 watts from the 200 watt solar panels hooked to them. But I'll have to throw a charge on them with a generator after a bit. Let's get to work here. All right, we'll work these. That's why I got a planer. Let's see here. Whoops. That's the nice thing about this. It goes to 1 inch. So that'll work out really nice. It's a nice thing about fir. It's really clear wood, nice tight grain on it. Except for that side. This side right here is all tight grain. Everything's frozen down in my water area, so I'm probably going to wait. I'll show you the creek. The waterfall's frozen solid. The whole creek's frozen solid. This is still on my land here. So I've got a lot of options for water, luckily. I just don't see exactly where that water's coming from. Let's see if I can step through here. It's slick. Just trying to get up past this fallen tree. Whoa. Hold on. Almost fell with the camera. There's water coming out of somewhere here. Can't tell where exactly. Pulls up and then goes into the creek. Cannot tell where. And over here, solid ice. You can't get that much ice without water coming down the mountain. So, yeah, quite a bit. All right, time to get back through this somehow. I just don't see how I can get down to the creek. Too much ice. Probably wondering what you're looking at here. This was an old school that's all overgrown. Most of the building is gone. There's just remnants of it and foundation. Old door underneath the snow there. Some more frame stuff. Part of the foundation running along. You can kind of make it out. Just thought I'd kind of show you. There's some of it. It's really hard to see. There's pieces of the foundation down in here. Okay. Here's some more of it along here. It was a big building. Oh, the thing's 40 feet long at least. Interesting how they propped up part of the building there on a rock. But it was pretty wide too. I bet it was at least 30 feet wide. We're walking along the front, or maybe it was the back, I don't know. There's some more of it in here. I just thought you guys find this interesting. I'm trying to take a little bit of a reprieve from working on the windows for the moment. So this whole area, I'm in the road now, but this whole area was building. There's more of it down in here. This time of year, there's a little more of it exposed. Back in here. Again, it stops over here in the corner. There's some pieces of it here and there. I haven't done a lot of footage on these, but of course we already passed the main log cabin up here that was knocked down by the cattle ranchers. They were afraid it was going to fall over and hurt their cattle. So the previous owners told me they came up and knocked it down. This guy right here. Gotta fix my no trespassing sign, but I want to run a metal detector through here too. This was an interesting building for sure. It had another building, not log style, back in here. And it was more of a lap notch build. But this isn't the end of it. There was actually, I don't know if it was a cold storage for in summer, but I'm kind of thinking maybe it was. But over here, at one time, let's see if I can get to it. You can see they, fell. There's another, you can see there's kind of a mound through, God, it's hard to see. But you can see there's a framework a little bit there. And anyway, right along here you can see there's kind of a mound. And there's a hole in the ground here. I mean, it's a big area. Trees are growing in it. So it's like there was a building in here at one time. And my guess is it could have been cold storage. Hard to say. Don't know. Don't know. But yeah, this big tree grew in it many years ago. But that's about it for now. I think I'm gonna head back and get warm. Give you one more perspective of this cabin that was built years ago and has collapsed. I kind of can come up with an idea how to rebuild this thing later, which would be kind of fun. But that's going to be much later in the programming because I've got other stuff I got to get done. So that's it for now. It's 19 degrees Fahrenheit outside this morning, so go up to the shop. I'll turn on the heat up there and see if I can't shave a few degrees off and make it a little warmer to work up there. We'll see what I can get done. Got to be able to move these guys. All right, here we go.
So here's today's wood I'm going to work with, these pieces right here. And that was yesterday's project down there. That's everything for the lower plate. Actually, it's 2 plates. As you can see, it's got a spot right there where they come apart. A little bit of power. Let's see if it... seems to be working. All right. This is a top window piece, and the window closes against this here. This is actually 3/4 of an inch thick, so I found some scrap wood that I had, which will be just thick enough with a little bit of smoothing maybe I can get away with. So I'll be making this. Later on I'll be routing this out here to make that happen. You can see they use some pretty big nails in this stuff. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, so we come down thinner here, then we got a couple layers and a bevel there, and then according to the other molding that comes up here, they have this set up so it fits to it. I may just do a straight across, or I may do an angle like this. We'll see. I'll do this one next. Similar, just longer. Stair steps here, I can work with that. Yeah. This will be actually probably easier than that to build, although it still has the different cuts on and in here, lap notching I'll have to do, so everything has to be wider. So my goal today is to get this one and that one done, and then I'll have one more piece to put together for all the window pieces, get them all cut plain, and then I'll be ready to start shaping them. And then I'm going to take and move all my equipment around so I can make room. And I've got a piece of OSB. I'll bring a couple sawhorses in, probably back over here behind the camera, and I'll set up a table that I can build these on. I need to first lay out the first one, square it up, and then I'll put some blocks in so that whenever I do the next ones, I can just lean them up against the blocks and start working them, hopefully. Then I've got the windows, and the ones that are in good shape, like this one, even though it's got the silver on it, I don't think I'm going to worry about it. There's some silver tape on it, but all the wood on this is good. I can just sand all this wood down. The windows are fine. I'm going to have to build some frames, but for the most part, I don't think I'm going to have to build too many. 1 or 2, I think I'll have to build, because I'm going to be making up some other windows. But yeah, if I can sand them down and get all this paint off and then stain them, I might even do, I have that green, forest green paint, I might even just do that on these frames so they'll stand out with everything else. I don't know how that would look. So when we get to that point, we'll talk about it more. Maybe I'll ask my viewers to give me their suggestions, and then we'll go from there based on what you guys say. All right. Okay, we'll get to work here. It is cold, super cold. It dropped a degree outside. It's down to 20 outside. There's the groove I was talking about right there. Got a groove that this goes in. So that's kind of why I took that apart. But I still think, yeah, looking at this is all one piece. Those 3 tiers. So okay. I'm not worried about this groove here. Just got to get this shape all in it. And then, like I said, this is all one piece. There's a piece of metal here. I don't believe I'm going to reuse it. I'll save them just in case I decide to use them, but they're pretty bad. Pretty rough looking. So, and there's this piece, which is the next 2 pieces to build are these 2. This stuff is for that. I'll keep that there for now. But, yeah. So, something like this, I could trim this on down. I should be able to get one of these out of it. But I've got some 1-inch wood here I'll probably use. Part of the flooring materials that I'll use. This is pretty thick here. I don't even think this is thick enough. Not even. It's 1/4 inch wider than this. So, total width, whatever that is, looks like about 1.5 inches. Just under that, maybe. Don't know. But that's what I'm going to have to do since this is all one piece. That's going to be fun. I may have to get some router bits to do this kind of stuff. We'll see. Or maybe I'll be able to just go in and then hit it a second time in a little farther. Play that by ear. I think that's how those can work. I don't know much about routing. I'm learning. There we go. I think that's more than I need. We'll see. Just double check my gauge. Pretty sure we're set at the right depth. Yep. Yeah, I could go a little. I think it's a little deeper actually. It is, but that's okay. I'd rather have a little more than I need. I can always plane that off. So, width-wise, I'm not worried about. Like I said, right now, I'm not gonna worry about that. Let's see where we're at here. I think some of these are already, like this one's already done. Let's check this one. Oh. I don't know about this piece of wood. I know I can go from this side here, I believe. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can get all that off of there. All right. think we'll end up with 3 sections. One. So what I'm using is wood that's got various thicknesses on, and really is just stuff that was my scrap wood, but I saved it because I knew I could, if I could bring it down, I could true it up and make good wood out of it. So there we go. Got 6 of them, and all of these, eventually will be this. Eventually they'll be the same. So they're the same. Just a little thicker so I can true them up a little bit. Of course this side, yeah, they're all probably a 1/16 of an inch thicker. So we'll get to working on truing these up right now. We'll be done with this section for today. Like I said, that leaves me with this one over here. I think you can see. That'll leave me with this one. I think I'll finish it up today. It's so cold out here. It's 32 degrees in here. That's about as warm as I'm going to get it. It's 10 degrees warmer than outside. Try and keep some of the heat in here. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't have my mic on me. right, there's that stack. And, all right, I'm going to bring the rest of the pieces in today. I've got 2 more sections to do. It's so cold out here, I think I'm going to just call it a break for today after I get the stuff in here. I'm trying to make it so that I can put a table right in here to work and put all my wood pieces right here so they're close to the table so I can access them. We'll see how that works out. That's kind of the game plan anyway. Okay, that's it for now. Got these in. I think I'll take you outside. I'll show you what the freezing fog's doing to the trees. But yeah, it's mighty cold. Mighty, mighty cold. Whoop. 2.5. Ooh, there we go. Nice thick board. Nice board. I'll use that one. That'll be a good board. All right, let's go inside. Okay. That'll be a good looking piece. All right. I believe that's everything I need for that piece. Just a matter of planing it. Will be next. It's a frosty one. It's 18 degrees Fahrenheit out. Getting closer. It's Friday morning. Okay. Yeah. Let's see how much we can get done. see what I got to do with this real quick. Get what I can done, and then I'll charge it. Start with this piece. I'm wide enough here. Oh, geez. Exactly wide enough, which sucks. I would have liked to have been a little wider. Wow. I don't know how I did that. But that's one thing. Should have made them a little wider. All right, let's make sure they're thick enough. I don't think it's thick enough. I think I literally, it's a 1/4 inch thinner than I want it. And now I know why. I just measured this side when I should have measured here. Okay, so let's see if those will work for the other one here. Maybe I'll use them for this. Yeah, they're wide enough for that. Because I need twice as many of these for this. I'll just check width. That's fine. As long as I'm not wasting material. Let's see here. What do I have? I got to figure it out. I'll be back with you so you don't have to see me doing this. Boy, it's a cold one. That is for sure. What do you think, Cooper? Cooper? Hey. Cooper, you ignoring me? How you doing, little man? You're okay. I know you don't like it when I throw things, do you? Sage likes to play. It's the way she rolls. Right, Sage? It's the way you roll. Yes, that's hot. Why don't you put it up here? Right here. Good girl. Well, that's going to be it for this week, folks. Thanks for watching. I'll try to show you a little more what goes on around here and more of my lifestyle. Try to throw that in there because this stuff's going to be kind of tedious. It's going to take a bit of time to make the window frames and stuff, so I'll probably do a mix of things from here on out so you can see a little more of my off-grid life and what it entails. Of course, I don't do bonfires very much, but this is a perfect time of year. There's absolutely no wind, which is perfect, and I'm getting rid of some bark, and it's creating heat. Feels good. So that's going to be it for this week. I'll see you next week. Please stay tuned, follow me, like my channel. That all helps. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.